Hey squad, we are going to be doing weekly vocab lessons right here, and we're going to call them Miss Meredith's Marvelous Words. I know it's a mouthful, but it totally works. So during this time, what's going to happen is I'm going to provide you with a short little video like this, and I'm going to teach you about 3 to 4 different words that I find super relevant with what we're talking about that week. It's always going to be types of words that you can use in your discussion posts, or you'll see them maybe in your stories, or we'll maybe use them in some of our reflection activities. So they're always going to be very relevant. And the way I'm going to teach them to you is kind of like Miss Durden with this video, however, minus the ASL. But I'm going to show you through a PowerPoint. And in the PowerPoint, I'm going to provide you with the word, a definition, how to use it in a sentence, and some sort of visual. So we're going to go ahead and hop over and do that right now. So here we go. All right. Whoop. There we go. All right, so our first word is transcendent. The reason this word is going to be super useful this week is because we're talking about Greek mythology, which is kind of perfect. So the definition of transcendent, it's an adjective, is that it means beyond the ordinary human experience, truly exceptional. And the best example I could think of is one that most people have heard of, who is Zeus. Zeus had a transcendent level of power by using the lightning and thunder of the sky. And I really want to show you the visual to this because I think it's super helpful. Now, this visual does not look normal, does not look human. It looks way beyond that. And that's because it's truly transcendent. He's holding a lightning bolt. So I thought this was the perfect picture and example of this word because you're definitely going to see that in some of your Greek myths that you read this week. The next word is a very helpful word when we're talking about stories, but more specifically, characters. The word is protagonist. Protagonist sounds positive, sounds happy. It has that word pro, the prefix pro in it. Now, if we look at the definition, it is a noun and it's talking about a central character that plays the hero of the story. So it's the good guys or ladies. And if I use in a sentence, the perfect protagonist that I can think of is Superman. Okay, so Superman was the protagonist in every story because he always showed up to save the day, which is absolutely true. He played that heroic character. All right, so the visual, of course, is our strong, quite handsome Superman. Now, with every protagonist comes the opposite, the antagonist. And this is kind of perfect because they go hand in hand. Without the antagonist, there wouldn't be a story. There wouldn't be a problem. So these two characters really go hand in hand. It allows the protagonist to shine as the hero and the antagonist to stand out as none other than the villain, which is in fact our definition. So an antagonist is that central character that plays the villain, the bad guy. Okay, so we're going to go G-rated on this one, and we're going to talk about in Sleeping Beauty who the antagonist is. In Sleeping Beauty, Maleficent played the antagonist role and tried to ruin Aurora's life by placing a spell on her. Remember, the antagonist causes the problem, all right? Now, of course, there's your visual of her. They always look a little dark and scary as well. When you're reading your myth stories, your mythological stories and everything like that, what I want you to pay attention to, sometimes there may not be a protagonist and antagonist. There just may be characters that are interacting with one another. Sometimes our gods and goddesses can also play the antagonist role by causing some of the issues. You'll see that certainly in some of the stories we read. So that is why I introduced these words, is because I thought all 3 really were relevant to the stories that you're going to be reading throughout this week. So remember, your task now is that you're going to use at least one of these vocabulary words in one of your discussion posts this week, okay? All right, so remember, the 3 words are transcendent, protagonist, the good guy, and antagonist, the bad guy. All right, so happy writing.